My name is Walter Lamothe, and welcome to Open Mic. In our thought leadership, we're looking at different people and different stories and different experiences that make people who they are. I'm very happy today to have Mélanie Béland, and somebody that I've worked with on and off for 20 years, including sharing a stage at one point back in Montreal. So welcome, Mélanie.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity, Walter.
A pleasure. So the objective today is just to get to know you a little bit and to inspire leaders, current leaders, future leaders. And so just tell us a little bit who you are.
Well, I've been working for 27 years now, can you imagine? So I know we know each other for 20 years.
So I said we met when we were very young.
Oh, yes, we are still very
There you
young.
go.
So 27 years, the same enterprise, but a big company like Canada Post gave me many opportunities. So like 9, 10 different roles. So the role I have today is the role I've been doing for 10, 11 years now. It's business development in e-commerce. So it talks to every major small and medium businesses or even startup merchant to help them with everything that relates to the logistic chain. So even the marketing, the drive to web, then logistic pick and pack, delivery, shipping. So how to support them.
You really can't get more complex than all of that put together, can you?
Oh, it is. And you know what? It is complex, but it is so amazing. I
Sure.
love it. Why? Because it's always different. It's always unique. And to see all those merchants.
So if we think about when we start off on our journey for our life, we often end up in a place that we couldn't have planned. Especially when you think about some of the things you just mentioned didn't exist to the same way, same degree, especially anything on digital. I mean, it was, you go back 20 years, it was the beginning of. So as you started to look at your beginnings, how did you see what things came to mind that started to change your direction of where you were going to go?
Probably predicted is, and again, it's probably part of my DNA. You know me enough to agree with that. Is I love people. I love to be useful and helpful for people. And when back in 2004-ish, when we met, I realized that I was so probably creative in my mind. I was able to help and be useful. So in the retail environment. So I looks like I fall in love with consumers and merchant and this all journey as a consumer myself. So this was not planned, but this came really early. I could say even early 2000. But what came really earlier, and because you asked the questions now I know, but I didn't realize before, is when I was like 10, 11 years old. My dad had a store, a auto parts store. Okay. And when he asked me one day to work with him on a Saturday, because it was working 6 days a week, oh my God, I was so proud. So you can imagine, okay, the uniform was blue. So I had my blue shirt like him. And you know, fake tie, that, you know, with a clip,
Yeah,
remember
yes,
that? In the 80s? Okay, so I had my fake tie and my blue pants. And I was working with him. At the end of the day, I was just smiling and literally saying to the customer, wait a minute, my dad will come to you soon. But I felt at this moment that I was part of something. I was part of a business. I was part of customer service, of selling. I'm saying that today. I realized that today. I was not, capable of mentioning, of saying it sure. At that time. But I felt useful. I felt, and I'm doing this because I felt like with my 80 years old, I was important and I loved it. So that's probably the beginning of
Did you have any challenges with, often, shyness or any things like that to overcome?
Yes, and I don't know if you want right now to go with these anecdotes,
sure,
but
sure.
I was shy before 7 and 11 years old, yes. But two things happened, two moments, specific moments. So do you want me to?
Sure, go for it.
Because you don't know. You know me, but you don't know those two.
I don't know those two.
Not yet. I've always been a smiley and happy person. Yes, always. But I was shy, yeah. Until I was 7 years old, second year at elementary school. So Rolande, my teacher, I remember, she proposed to me to participate to a contest. It's called art oratoire, so public speaking, probably, something
sure,
like that.
Sure.
I said, okay. So I wrote a text. It was about what's your favorite animal, and my animal was a white rabbit, not a rabbit, a white rabbit. So I wrote my text, learn it by heart, present it in front of so many schools in Montérégie, many. I won the gold medal. So first time I did it, I won for the big region the gold medal. So I think at this moment,
Set the standard high right away.
yes, you can say, but I think at this moment it gave me the self-confidence I didn't have before. And since I've been writing and learning text, and I've been participating to those contests until 18 years old, I think. I really loved it. So first moment of being more self-confidence, absolutely. But the second one is also important because I was okay, but I was still not the Mélanie Béland, today. So I saw a guy my age, alone too. So I came to meet with him and say, hi, my name is Melanie, and we chat. And the closest I was coming to him, he looks a little bit weird, no hair or losing hair, face very sad.
What's wrong with that?
Well, he told me, no, not I'm not like you. But he was young. So, no, he told me up front, he said, oh, I have leukemia. So he was sick. So we spoke about, family, friends, and financial situation. So it took a few minutes. And I realized at that precise moment, because he had health issues, family issues, financial, at that precise moment, I said to myself, I'm the luckiest person in the world. I'm healthy. My parents are still together. They love each other. There's love in the home, in the house, with families. I'm the lucky, and nobody and nothing will stop me to do what I want to do.
So I've known you for some time, and I've seen you go through different positions within the organization you're with. And through that, I could constantly see, how you were growing. What's your inspiration? Like, how do you keep learning? What do you do?
Probably there's two things, and I think I do it at the same time. So now you ask me, so I can respond, but it's quite natural. I don't think about that. It's just that I'm doing it. So I'm a curious person, and I like to learn. So association, webinar, conferences, whatever it is, and whatever the subject is. Give you an example. Remember, we're talking marketing in the old years when we first met. Well, at the meeting, there were you, me, and then a mailing house, an agency, then a mail prep, there a printer. All those enterprise for me were new, and I then continued to get in touch with these people to learn what they were doing. So learning, and at the same time, create my network.
We talk about networking, and I know that you're very natural at doing that. I've seen that over time. But it's not for everyone. I mean, it's something that I've been curious about over time, how little some people actually network. So tell me about networking and why it's important.
It's funny, your question is good because you asked the question and I've never asked the question to myself before, but looks like it's natural. I don't think of doing it or about doing it. I'm just doing it. So networking, my definition, if I can say, is meeting with people because at the end, everybody I've met in my life or one small reason or will be important for me. I will learn from them and I can be useful for them. Or so it's sharing. It's oh my God, everybody should do that.
So what would you counsel somebody to do that hasn't been doing that?
Well, if they want to do like I do, never be afraid to go. So first of all, you have to, go to events or meet with people. But when you are with people, then never be afraid to talk to someone you don't know without any reason, sometimes we need the purpose before. So no, hey, hi, my name is Melanie. What's your name? What are you doing? Because if you're afraid, we miss opportunities. So never be afraid and things will happen. It looks like it's magical, but it's not. It's just.
So someone not doing that, I guess an expression I use a lot is start by starting.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Cannot be afraid. Why? Well, I know why is a very good question. We should ask ourselves all the time, but you'll see the why. You'll see the benefit when or if.
So something in networking that I found interesting, maybe you have as well, is in the networking, I've found people who, beyond being a good contact, actually turned into be mentors. Sometimes mentors for a day, but sometimes mentors for a lifetime. So tell me about that.
You want me to share some mentor there? Because I have three.
Okay.
I felt lucky because sometimes some people even say like I have one or and three person that I've met sometimes just by chance. Okay, so nothing was planned. So the first one, Normand Laurence, is the first one I've met back in early 2000 in a sales training.
Okay.
So he's a sales and management training person. And Grid Quebec is the company he founded. And this is a way of selling and talking to people by selling, just being yourself, talking about what your needs. And anyway, so Normand Laurence, very inspiring people. So again, it goes with the inspiration. And the second one is Jacques Nantel. You know Jacques as well. Everybody knows Jacques Nantel. And I've met him at the HEC, so the university, but after that in panels and discussion. And at the same time, he was my mentor. Well, this man also took me and say, hey, this is Mélanie Béland. You should invite her in panels. And so he also helped me bring and shine. So, oh my God, he gave so
Enhance your
much.
network.
Yes. Oh my God. And the third one, do you know who it is? It's you. No, it's you. I'm serious because when we met,
Didn't see that one.
I know you don't. No, but it's you. And of the three, you're also a friend. You became a real friend, Walter. But the moment and the first time I saw you, I gave the example earlier. So it was a marketing meeting with you. Well, then other players were in the room. You introduced me to them. You gave me the appetite. You show me the appetite of meetings. So maybe the appetite for networking. I think there's a little bit of a view into that. So you gave me probably this confidence. Say, hey, Melanie, go talk and meet with these people, and I never stopped. So thank you.
Well, I find that over time, well, thank you for that. I mean, I didn't expect that. I find over time, one of the interesting things is that sometimes people don't recognize their own strength. And we're not a very good at holding the mirror up to ourselves. And I always often see people to their potential. And when somebody is smart at what they do, master the subject that they have, and also can capture a room, I think you certainly came to the calling in all those three. So as you look at these mentorships, so how have you mentored others?
First time.
Okay.
And after each session, let's say on 30, 35 people, at least one person was coming back to me after. So I said, if every time at least I touch one person, so this is why I never stopped to do it. And now it's with the group Mentoro. Okay. So it's Sandra Abirached. She created it. She's co-founder, but I'm part of the second group. It's going to start in the next weeks, and this is cool to help young people because we're no longer young. You and I, not anymore. So young entrepreneurs. But we're still happy and very, very, very healthy. So we help young entrepreneurs start up e-commerce, whatever. And I feel that I was so lucky. So I have to be generous, on my own and try to help.
So is it possible that you've been mentored to many people that you don't know that you were mentored to?
Could be.
Well, because I didn't know I was a mentor to you. So there's an example.
No, but I think you're right. And it's tough to say that, about yourself. Well, I feel it's tough. So what I realized that when I receive emails, texto, or message after a call, a project lead, whatever it is in my day-to-day job, every time I receive that kind of comments and moment that are like, so, oh my God, I said, okay, I did a good job. So I'm there and I may help someone.
So a question that I have for you is how do you set goals?
Oh my God.
Probably different today than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But more.
Yeah. But the same way, personal and professional. So there's only one Melanie and one organized or structure of Melanie. Yeah, I do the same.
No problem believing that.
Yes. I write, and really with paper and a pen. Can you imagine? I'm very technological. So I take a paper every beginning of year and I write goals for personal life, for professional life, 2, 3, 4, not 10, not 20 pages, small ones. I review it after 6 months. I review at the end of the year. And now I'm doing also the in 5 years because we need to think. So nothing fancy and nothing,
Why does it work?
Well,
I like the nothing fancy part.
Personally, for me, I think the moment I write it down, this is me. This is an objective or something I'm asking to myself to do, something I can control. Again, I don't say win the lottery because I don't control that, so it's not a goal. So because I decided it was a goal, I have to make it happen. So this is a way of being very high having our expectations about myself. But for me, it's motivation. It's a good challenge. It's a good stress. It's not something that I will not be afraid of.
So an interesting question is when you were 18 years old and you see yourself today, what would you say to that 18-year-old anything different than what she was thinking at the time?
You know what? I would probably say, even if I'm proud of the road and even failures and everything that happened, I would probably say to Mélanie, 18-year-old, say, you know what? Continue and never be afraid or never be shy to be different or think differently in a room with colleagues, even in personal life. Never, because look where you are today. Because even if I am here today, I've been shy a few moments. And when I say shy, I say, oh, I want to say that because, oh no, I don't want to continue and disturb, because disturbing people make things happen.
That's a good one. Disturb, because disturb. We look at the technology and saying, how certain technologies disrupt. Right? We can be disruptive in a good way. And
Yep.
That's fantastic. So as you think about these thoughts, and so now you're at the stage you are now, and you're thinking 15 years down the road, and you're saying, what will be the goals? What's this an example of success for you in 15 years from now?
Continue to learn. And I know people will say, like, every day, sometimes I don't learn, every day, but I learn in a week, at least 2 or 3 things. But continue to learn, don't look back. I don't look back.
I think it's interesting. They continue to learn. I find that over time, and you can tell me if you share the same thing, is that people who find themselves becoming bitter or are just basically on a neutral ground have stopped learning. A lot of folks listening to us are going to be looking at you and saying, you know what, in 20 years, I'll be in her chair. I didn't see that I could be doing that, but yeah, I'm seeing that there's possibilities. So if we look at some of the big areas of concentration that somebody who's looking forward, what would you say that they should be looking at?
Well, build your own brand. This is something I'm taking from you, because you say that often. So build your own brand, like a merchant, like a company is doing. Perfect. As a person. Who am I? What I'm doing? Why people would deal with me? Why people are interested in developing this network? Why? If I understand it, if I know, I'm going to be better to help them and help me. It's a continuum. I see this as really
So that's a key takeaway, I think, from this for sure, is personal branding is like networking. It's matter of fact, networking is an extension of personal branding.
Yes.
People don't put a lot of weight in that because they see brands as being this Coca-Cola thing, but personal brand means a lot. So if we look at so Mélanie, over the next 15 years, that brand will represent what?
I hope, I wish, I plan that I will represent as much as creativity, innovation, appetite for learning, but appetite for others. I really hope, because every day I wake up, I have to, this is this is my DNA. I have to be happy in what I do, having fun, work. Okay.
A lot of people talk about the best book they've ever read. And one of the questions I like to think is, what is the book you've most gifted? Now, is it possible that this author called Mélanie Béland is the one
Yes.
you wrote a book?
Well, yeah, and okay, it's not a book, it's a cahier, because come on, it's a long time ago. Not that I'm shy or disappointed about that. I'm very proud, because again, I was not afraid to do it. But it's not a big thing. It's my first trial.
You know how many people wish they would write something? They don't write anything.
No, that's why I did
You
it.
actually got it. I look, it's bound and everything. It's great.
It's
What was your purpose?
Purpose was doing what I was thinking of doing for years. So write a book about my reflections, so it's few stories, so you can read it like from page 1 or start by the end. And yeah, I'm proud, and there's another one coming.
This is good stuff. So tell me some of the best advice you ever received.
And it's an advice I think I read, so not someone that told me, but something I read in a paper or in a book. Humility, courage, and wisdom. So three things we should have to stay or become a good leader. So the humility to not, place yourself on top of everybody. The courage to face any situation, bad, good, difficult. And the wisdom to sometimes just shut up.
Sometimes that's
So
okay.
I like that one.
Yes, I had my wife said to me many years ago, it's okay to let the angels fly. So you can have time to
Well
think.
said.
So when we talk about leadership, sometimes we find ourselves in a movie that kind of triggers something for us. Is there a movie that does that for you?
Yes, and it's funny because it's not a very serious or scientific movie, but this movie always, for me, it's a match with leadership or what leadership is all about. Jerry Maguire,
Very good.
because when he says, "Help me help you," this is exactly what I'm trying to do when I want to help someone. Say, "I'm going to teach you how to fish. I don't want to fish for you because you never learn." And this is the leadership I like to receive. So this is what I try.
I thought you were going to say, "Show me the money," but that's okay.
Could be, but not for Jerry Maguire.
That's very good, very good. So very good. So how would somebody want to reach you? If they're
LinkedIn,
extending?
really, LinkedIn would be the best. Mélanie Béland, LinkedIn, you will see my face and you can write to me, French, English, whatever. And really feel free because, again, I was lucky enough to receive a lot in my life. I want to share and give, so hopefully we can
I'm sure
connect.
this will increase your network somewhat. So Melanie, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I think that the inspiration that somebody can derive from someone who is just working their way through this journey called life, you're certainly an example of keeping the positivity and keeping a focus, and I'm very happy to say that you're part of my network for a very long time.
Me too.
So thought leadership is something that just basically allows us to reflect on some of the comments that we receive over time. It's not all about action. We do need to think. And it's very obvious that you do a lot of reflection on how you put yourself forward, and appreciate that very much. So thank you again very much for coming.
Thanks to you, because it was a really hard work to do this, but just a pleasure to share with you.
She even came in a snowstorm.
Oh yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.